Exponent rules, and this time we're going to be mixing and using several rules together at one time. So let's go ahead. Here's my formula chart, all the different rules that it's telling me, and here's my problem. Wow, I have 3 times a to the 4th power, b to the 2nd power, b to the 6th power, and everything inside is being raised to the power of 5. So I am mixing a few of my rules here. First, can I simplify anything on the inside here? Well, I see that I have 2 same bases right here, and they are multiplying by each other. So anytime I'm multiplying the same base, it says I'm going to add the exponents. So whenever I simplify this piece right here, it's really the same thing as b to the 8th power. Now everything else is going to stay the same. I cannot simplify that in any way. Now I'm raising everything in here to the power of 5. Everything that we're doing 3 to the power of 5. I'm doing a to the 4th power, and I'm raising it to the power of 5. And I'm doing b to the 8th power, and I'm raising it to the power of 5. So let's simplify all 3 of these. The first one, what is 3 to the power of 5? Well, that is 243. The next one, anytime I'm raising a base to a power, I am supposed to multiply. So 5 times 4 is 20. So we're going to have a to the power of 20. And then the next one, once again, I have a base. I'm raising to a power of a power, so I multiply. 5 times 8 is 40. So I have b to the power of 40. This is my simplified answer when I combine all my rules. What about this one? Well, everything on the inside of this parentheses is being raised to the power of 2. So we're going to break this up. It's going to be -6 raised to a power of 2, r to the 7th raised to the power of 2, and t -4 raised to a power of 2. So let's go through and solve each of these. The first one, -6 squared, making sure that means -6 times -6. That's going to be a positive 36. The next one, I'm going to multiply my 2 exponents because I'm raising them to a power. So that's going to be r to the 14th power. And then on the last one right here, I'm going to multiply -4 times 2 is -8, so t to the -8 power. Now I'm not done. There's something here that I do not like and that we're not supposed to leave this way when we're simplifying. Remember, I cannot have a negative exponent. So to get rid of that negative, I need to change its location. Right now, I don't have a fraction, so everything right here would be on top. It would all be over 1. So in order to get rid of this, I need to change its location. So on top, we have 36 r to the 14th power. And now, whenever I move its location, we have t to the 8th power. Now, and I got rid of the negative sign. So this is my simplified answer to what we started with. Let's try this one. Now remember, when in doubt, we could always write it out. Write out what this really means. I know I have a 5, and I'm going to have 4 n's, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have 7 m's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whew. Okay, and then on the bottom, I have a 15. I have 8 n's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have an m. As I start getting more and more exponents, it starts getting longer and harder to write it all out, but I wanted to do that so you could see everything we're doing. Let's first simplify our whole numbers, our 5 and 15. Now, I can't do 5 divided by 15, but I can simplify. What can I divide both 5 and 15 by? I can divide them both by 5. So I'm going to end up with a 1 on top and a 3 on bottom. Okay, so now we've simplified our whole numbers. Now let's do our ends. Well, when I'm dividing and I have the same base, my rule says I am supposed to subtract, and order matters. So I have to do 4 minus 8. 4 minus 8 is -4. So how would I write that? Well, since it's a negative number, I need to go ahead and move its location. I need to write it as my denominator. That way I can get rid of that negative sign. Now, you might be looking at this saying, well, wait, what do you mean do that? Well, remember, anytime I have the same number on top and bottom, they cancel out. So 1 in and 1 in. And I can keep doing this until I don't have enough pairs or ends. I don't have any more ends on top, but I can see that I do have 4 ends and they are bottom. So my ends went on bottom. Now the last one, m to the 7th and an m. If I don't see an exponent, I can always write a 1 there. And so I'm supposed to once again subtract. 7 minus 1 is 6. It's positive, so it would go on top. M to the 6th power. I could also check it by how I wrote it out. Anytime I have the same number on top and bottom, they get canceled out. So 1m and 1m. I don't have any other m's on bottom, so I can't cancel out any more m's. And I am left with 6 m's. So here is my final answer. Now there's one more thing I can do to simplify this. I probably don't need to put a 1 in front of there, so I'm just going to go ahead and erase it. Our final simplified answer to this problem is m to the 6th power divided by 3n to the 4th power. And I know it's right because when I checked it over here, I saw the exact same number of m's on top and n's on bottom. Let's try one more. Remember, these are getting more and more complicated because we're mixing and matching our rules. Before we start trying to simplify our numerator and denominator and getting rid of our division rules, let's go ahead and look at the numerator. Is there anything I can do here to simplify it? Yes, I have to raise all of this to the power of 4. Here, 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Now let's do our a's. Well, a to the 9th and then raised to the power of 4. Remember, that means that I'm going to multiply. So that's going to be a to the 36th power. 9 times 4 is 36. B to the 2nd power. That means I'm now going to multiply my two exponents. So that's going to be b to the 8th power because 2 times 4 is 8. And then I have a c. I'm still raising it to the 4th power. If I didn't see a number there, I could put a 1. 1 times 4 is 4. So now we've simplified and got rid of our parentheses. So this is what we are now left with. Everything on top and then everything on bottom stays the same. I haven't done it yet. Now we need to start simplifying each piece. Let's do our whole numbers first. 16 divided by 24. I can't get a nice whole number, but I can simplify. What's something I can divide them both by? Let's divide them both by 4. And when I do that, I get 4 and 6. Oh, wait, I can simplify that even further. I can divide both of those by 2. So I'm going to get a 2 and I'm going to get a 3. So whenever I simplified, I got 2 on top and 3 on bottom. Let's go ahead and write that. Now let's go to our next one. Now our a's. Remember, anytime we're dividing, I'm going to subtract, and order matters. 36 minus 10 is 26. So it's a positive number. It's going to go on top. And I can see here, if I have 36 A's on top and 10 A's on bottom, I know when they cancel out, all my extra A's are going to be on top. So now my A's are done. Let's go ahead now and do our B. Oh, there's only a B on top. There are no B's on bottom, so B is just going to stay b to the 8th power on top. And then our final one, our last one. Let's go ahead. We've got our C's. C to the 4th and C over C to the 4th. Well, whenever I subtract 4 minus 4, I get 0. I will not have any C's left, so I don't need to write any C's on here. They cancel completely out. I'm not going to write anything to the 0 power because anything to the 0 power just equals 1 anyway, and anything times 1 is itself. So this is my final answer whenever we simplified.